It feels like a ritual they must perform several times a day. 2. How often do you expect intimacy in a relationship? Sometimes addiction is unconscious way of trying to numb deep emotional wounds. Out of frustration, one partner lashed out, reflexively causing the other to slam their knee on the edge of a heavy iron bed frame, and it resulted in injury and left the other partner immobile for months. Welcome to today's Heart to Soul Talk. My name is Chioma Evo, and today we are diving into a topic that many find difficult to discuss but is very important: how to handle a partner who is struggling with sex addiction. This experience was recently shared with me, and I believe talking about it might help you or someone else going through this. Let me paint a scenario for you. You are married to someone who is never satisfied with sex, no matter what it feels like. It feels like a ritual they must perform several times a day. Over time, this constant demand takes its toll. If this addiction is mixed with an abusive relationship, it could escalate into emotional or physical harm. Sometimes it leads to rape within the marriage. And in some cases, frustration pushes one partner to seek satisfaction outside the relationship or to escape the overwhelming pressure. Now, if you're wondering, is sex addiction even real? Let me tell you, just like people can get addicted to drugs or alcohol, sex addiction is a real struggle that can completely redefine a relationship, turning it into something transactional and reducing one partner to nothing more than a sexual object. Next, recognizing the signs. Before we dive into solutions, it's important to know what sex addiction looks like some signs to watch out for. Now, intense sexual fantasies that seem uncontrollable, using sex as an escape from problems or difficult emotions. Next, engaging in multiple sexual relationships. And for those fighting hard not to cheat, relying on pornography to satisfy their urges is the way out. So if any of these sound familiar, don't panic. There is hope. But first, you have to take the right steps. Communicate openly. Start with as little as communication. If you've noticed signs of sex addiction in your partner, the first step is to talk to them. Be open and honest about their behavior and how it affects you. This is why I always encourage people to talk about sex during the dating or courtship phase. Ask questions like: 1. How important is sex to you? 2. How often do you expect intimacy in a relationship? This conversation gives you an idea of what you are signing up for. And if it's something you know you can't handle, use the exit door immediately. But what if you are already married? Well, this isn't time to judge your partner or shame them. Instead, focus on understanding the root of the addiction. Now, let's dig deeper. This brings us to the next point. We need to dig deeper into the root cause of the addiction. Every addiction has a root. It's often tied to pain or trauma. So ask your partner questions like: what was your first sexual experience like? Were you ever raped or molested? What was your childhood like? You need to know all this. Sometimes addiction is unconscious way of trying to numb deep emotional wounds. And trust me, sex addiction is no exception. By the way, let me quickly mention my upcoming book, How to Fight Pornography and Masturbation Addiction. I'll be sharing practical strategies to overcome these struggles while weaving in real life stories that inspire, hope, and healing. It is written in a simple, relatable tone, especially for young people and teenagers. I know you'll find it valuable, so keep an eye out for it. Now let's move on to the next critical step. Seek professional help. Encourage your partner to seek professional help. I understand that in our society, talking about sex openly can feel like a taboo, but let me tell you, it is worth it. Counseling can help your partner unpack their behavior, uncover its root cause, and begin the healing process. Here's an example of why this step is important in the experience that inspired this episode. The partner who was frustrated by constant sexual demands tried to resist. Unfortunately, this led to a physical accident. Out of frustration, one partner lashed out, reflexively causing the other to slam their knee on the edge of the heavy iron bed frame, and it resulted in injury and left the other partner immobile for months. This wasn't intentional, but it was a build-up from frustration and unspoken pain. So do you see how critical it is to address this issue before things spiral out of control? Let's talk about creating boundaries. Now, while you are supporting your partner, it is important to create boundaries. For example, you could agree on a timetable or schedule for intimacy. This helps both of you find a balance that respects your needs and emotions. If your partner's addiction involves cheating, take extra precaution. Get tested for STIs and protect your. Please take care of yourself. Here is something we often forget. Being in a relationship with someone who has a sex addiction can take a toll on your mental and emotional health. While you are supporting your partner, don't lose sight of yourself. Talk to a trusted family, friend, or even a counselor. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if you've done everything, you've communicated, set boundaries, sought counseling, but the addiction persists, especially when it involves multiple partners, then it's time to prioritize yourself. Take a break if you can afford it. A vacation or a time away can give you clarity about your next steps, and force your partner to reflect on their actions. Healing is possible. Let me leave you with this. Sex addiction is a deep issue, but healing is possible. With honesty, patience, and the right support, your partner can overcome it. Please do me a favor, share this video with someone out there. You never know who might need this information. Supporting this channel helps us grow as a community, and your shares go a long way. And if you enjoyed today's Art to Soul Talk, don't forget, check out the Love, Sex, and Relationship playlist for more insightful episodes. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Au revoir. Turning it into something transactional. Before we dive into